Hey everybody, hope you're having a great week. It's been a busy one here in Michigan. As many of you know, maybe some of you don't, in the profession, we were notified Tuesday of a public hearing and the ability to give public comment on some significant changes to the mortuary law or the mortuary code and the occupational code here in the state of Michigan. We for sure wanted to be there, so along with other different representatives from the industry, family-owned funeral homes, corporately owned funeral homes, the Michigan Funeral Directors Association, the Michigan Concrete Burial Vault and Crematory Association was also present, other suppliers like GLP, and there was even an attorney that was representing a plaintiff that is in the appellate court with a lawsuit surrounding Arrangement Conference Center. So a wide variety of personalities and backgrounds and professions, but all within the industry. Not everybody spoke, myself included, did not speak, but we had several very passionate speakers and at times became, I would say, a bit at times contentious, but that's what great looks like, is when people of different and varying opinions get into one room, and usually something better comes out. And there's not enough of that going on in the world right now. It's not always what you want to hear, sometimes it's what you need to hear. We've all been on the other end and the receiving ends of that type of situation. So it was at times highly emotional, and others there was consensus, but some of the things that were talked about and there were contentions on are arrangement centers. And I hope video of this is released, or if there was video, do not know, or at least audio, so you can fill in the gaps based on my really brief comments here. Also some contentions on the chain of custody of the deceased, and then continuing ed has always been and continues to be a little bit more of a sensitive topic. And then there was some consensus on these proposed changes, like for instance the need for a licensed funeral director to be in the building at all times when at-need arrangements or any capacity of the at-need arrangement is being made. Well, we all know that is nearly impossible, whether you're a rural, a suburban, or an urban funeral director, to have a funeral director placed in your building 24 hours a day while arrangements could be made is unfeasible. So, and it also says that arrangements must legally be made inside all of the establishments. Well, what about the times we've made arrangements in hospitals, nursing homes, and even maybe a Starbucks? Not ideal, but it's been done. So would that automatically put us in violation of breaking the law if we were to meet a family where they want to be meted, where they want to be meted? There were also conflicting messaging on the bills that are on the governor's desk right now, 544 and 545, which are Senate bills that are on Governor Whitmer's desk right now for waiting her signature. And a lot of these codes coincide or reflect some of these legislative changes in these Senate bills. So there was some questions on how those two things would work together, or those two, that piece of legislation, the pieces of legislation and these new codes, which is a valid question. And I just don't know that there's a ton of crystal clarity on what to expect next. We do know that the department will be taking comment, whether in written comment or you can call the department as well, it sounds like. We'll be getting more information on that when they will be taking their last comments before making these changes, and still trying to nail down what the process is for making these changes and the timeline. So stay tuned for that. One thing I learned, the moral of this story, it was a kind of reliving the days of the Senate bill for the pre-need insurance situation we had here in the Michigan market. And these are huge proposed changes, just like the pre-need bill was a huge threat if we did not pass that to Michigan families, funeral homes, and funeral professionals. But being present and accounted for in these big moments is huge. And, not all of us were notified in a timely manner for a situation this big on Thursday to be at. But maybe moving forward, there's an opportunity to just keep the ear to the ground closer. So when these big moments come up, we can, coalesce in one area and express your opinions, even if they're not the same as the person sitting next to you. All right, so we'll also include the PDF of the actual proposed changes, both the added language and the struck language in the code. And we will also include Laura's contact information for you to make your call or send an email. Can't thank you for all that you do for this state in terms of funeral service and caring for the families in your community. It's been a little bit longer of a video today, as you can imagine, but we're going to keep our ear to the ground on this story, keep you informed along the way because it affects all of us in funeral homes and funeral service. So stay tuned, but until then, have a great weekend. Thanks for all that you do, and as always, thanks for showing up.